Verse 17 says, "This decision is by the decree of the watchers." This decision is by the decree of the watchers. Also interesting, because the watchers are a set of angels. Like, let's say the Almighty made the second heaven, like if it were a company. So there are different departments. Every angel, like every department, has to deal with a different aspect of our reality. Angels have the job of turning the power of the spirit that comes down to them from the third heaven and turning it into material reality. So the angels are right in the middle. There are different departments. There is one department in which they're called the watchers, like human resources. So they are watching all the time at humanity to see how they are behaving, and to see if there is anything that they must do or tell the Almighty that He should do, stuff like that. And they are from this department. It is from this department that 200 watchers fell down in the time of Enoch, the time of Noah. 200 of those watchers came down because since they were watching humanity all the time, they fell in love, and they still do, some of them, as Paul tells us in the New Covenant. But they fell in love with the idea of having children, and therefore having their own humans, having their own men and women within this reality. So they came down and they got with, well, there are many ways, or well, mainly couple ways in which they explain it, but pretty much they had sex with the daughters of Adam, and the daughters of Adam gave them children, and those children became giants, and they became the heroes of the past, and those who in the mythology appear as being part human, part God. So the watchers, 200 of them, came down and got with the women, and that's how they got children in this reality. So that same department is the one that is being mentioned here. The decision is by the decree of the watchers. So the department of angels that are called watchers saw that Babylon had to fall because the pride of the king was too much. It says, "The decision is by the decree of the watchers, and the sentence by the word of the set apart ones, in order that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men." That's why the decree, the watchers and the set apart ones. In order that the living may know that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, which is what is about to happen in this world. We are approaching the end of times, in which finally, as prophesied, Yahweh will reveal Himself as the only mighty one. He will reveal Himself as the only power that gives everything to everybody, whether they be angels, humans, even demons, and whatever exists, they receive that existence from the Most High. So that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, gives it to whomever He will, and sets over it the lowest of men. So Yahweh does whatever He wants, and He can put over those kingdoms even the lowest of men. Which is interesting, like I was saying, that the king was Nebuchadnezzar, who worshipped the Lord. Yet there was Daniel, who was his servant, and he worshipped the Most High, Elohim. So that's why he's saying this here. He sets over the kingdom of all the earth, the pagan world, the lowest of all. In the spiritual sense, in the positive regarding the last, the lowest of all in the sense of the humblest, like Moshe was the most humble man of all. Obviously, then came Yahushua and showed humility incarnate, pretty much. So the most humble of all is the one that Yahweh will raise up to become the king of all. That's why Yahushua also said, whoever wants to become the first, he has to first become the last. Whoever wants to be, whoever wants to govern, he will have to serve. And also the fact that Yahweh chooses from the world that which to the world is worthless. So to the world, the chosen few will be nothing. There will be most of them Gentiles to the world, I repeat. And if it were for society, they would get rid of all of them. However, Yahweh sees them as precious and Yahweh will save them from experiencing death itself. So that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men, gives it to whomever he will, and sets over it the lowest of men.